Hey guys, it's Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and today we have a very special engine shop tour for you. We're in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and behind us is Noonan Race Engineering. I'm excited to see this shop, and if you guys are at all familiar with Noonan Race Engineering, then you already know that they make some of the most badass engines out there, as well as engine products. So I'm excited, hopefully you're excited. We're gonna be talking with Barry Pettit of Noonan, and he's going to showcase the shop with us. So let's go find Barry and check it out. Come on.
When you purchase SBI valve train components, that blue and yellow box represents 40 years of industry knowledge, R&D, quality that exceeds OEM standards, and outstanding customer service, as well as a dedicated team, ready to help no matter your application needs. That's how SBI keeps engines humming.
All right, guys, so we are here with Barry Pettit. Barry, good morning. Thanks so much for having us in.
Yeah.
I was telling the folks a second ago, I'm pumped to see this shop because you guys make some awesome engines and engine components. And I know a lot of folks out there are going to be excited to see some of this stuff. But first and foremost, if you would, give us a little rundown of the history of Noonan Race Engineering and a little bit about what you guys do here.
Yeah, not a problem, and we're excited to have you.
Yeah.
Noonan Race Engineering started about 15 years ago. Jamie Noonan and his wife Renee Noonan started the company in Australia. So Jamie, being big in the V8 supercar world, had family that was in the top alcohol dragster market and racing. Yeah. So he started designing cylinder heads, and world records started following. So they went into production in Australia, making cylinder heads, intake manifolds, valve covers, and such. Yeah. So as that grew, they started coming into the U.S. market, getting more customers here, and it just so happened the building that we're standing in now was one of their customers. It was NAS Racing.
Okay.
And they were going to move some of their operations back to the Middle East, and it was just kind of fell in place where the Noonans were able to get this shop set up manufacturing stateside.
Yeah.
And we've been going strong ever since.
Yeah, very cool. Well, like I said, I'm pumped to see the shop, so why don't we get to it, and we'll explain some stuff along the way, right?
Sure, let's check it out.
Let's go.
Well, all right, number one, this is the head boss man. This is Lightning.
Hi,
yeah,
Lightning.
He keeps us in check.
Nice.
So we'll start in this room, basically for the fact of we make a lot of components here, not just the engine blocks and cylinder heads that we're known for.
Yeah.
So everything down to our own valve seats, even our own AN fittings, dowels, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for a manufacturing shop, we're known for our cylinder heads and manifolds and all that stuff. But with today's market, we've kind of found that we have to take control of our own destiny and make some of our own components.
Yeah.
So this room is probably the most critical room of this business,
Sure.
just for the fact of this is where we keep everything serviced and parts on the shelf, which right now we're trying to make stuff as fast as we can. We're fortunate to have a lot of orders going through.
Right, yeah. Just keeping up is tough. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, it's a lot of guys want to see the machines and that kind of stuff, but to be honest, this room is actually what makes our business thrive. I mean, it's a part of keeping customers serviced and supplying the things that actually go with the engine.
Yeah. I just want to point out real quick, I love that these are on a track.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just individually wheels and whatever. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it works out really well.
Yeah.
It's good. You kind of got to do a little side of eye check because you'll end up running over somebody down the far end.
Crushing somebody in between. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does work really well. And some of our components that a lot of guys don't really get to see that I think are pretty wicked.
Yeah.
This is a great example. This is a rocker stand.
Yeah.
For an individual rocker setup like a T&D. And when you look at it, I mean, most of the time, the only person that's going to see this is a customer whenever they're servicing the engine.
Right.
But to me, when you look at this part, I mean, how intricate everything is, the surfaces that you have to have for the lifters,
right,
how light and everything it is, it's a pretty remarkable piece to make.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that we're really proud of. Unfortunately, it never gets to get seen by the public because it's in engines, but
right,
it's we take a lot of pride in making as many components as we can.
Well, and like you said, not only is it intricate and well engineered, but it's a very crucial aspect of
That's right.
these engines, because you're talking about the valve train components that kind of rest on that. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's
the coolest thing to me about those types of parts is that it always starts as the solid chunk of aluminum.
Yep.
That weighs X amount, and then it comes down to the final product. And
yep.
There's a lot of metal on the ground, right?
There is. We if you take a look at just a valve cover, right? So all of our valve covers are made in house. Just from a percentage standpoint, 98% of the metal that comes in on that valve cover goes in the scrap bin.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a lot of machining, but again, you can control your destiny. If something happens to where you need to make a change for a rocker clearance or something like that, it's kind of the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Other than keep ordering castings, which nobody wants to do. So we really, for the industry we're in, it's really the best way to go, and you're giving a better, stronger product for the customer.
Yeah. Now, Barry, you mentioned that you guys do a lot of stuff yourselves, just out of necessity, and so you guys got parts available to you. How much of that is done in-house versus stuff that you're getting?
So really, right now, the only, if you look at a Noonan 4.9 engine, really the only parts on that engine that we do not produce in-house would be your crankshaft, which sometimes we wish we made, connecting rods, pistons, camshaft, and actual rocker arms.
Okay.
The rest of it pretty much is coming from us.
Yeah.
All of our main caps we make in-house.
Okay. Yeah.
The oil pans, I did forget to mention that. We don't make the oil pans.
Okay.
But, pretty much everything else in that thing we make, down to the fuel rails, fuel rail brackets, any of that kind of stuff. All the valve seats, valve guides, all of that kind of stuff is all, if it's aluminum or steel, we try to make it.
Okay, yeah.
So our titanium stuff, valves, all that, of course, we purchase. But, we really try to handle as much of it as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but we take pride in it.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, where's
next we're going to take a little bit of a jog across the shop and check out the R&D facility where we do all our engine building and putting some of these beautiful parts together.
Now you're speaking my language.
All right, let's check it out. On our way past, I'll mention our manufacturing facility is actually through this door. At the moment, we've got some stuff going on back there where I can't take you in, but just a little bit of a quick rundown of what we've got going on. So through this door, we've got all of our CNC machines, manual machines, stuff that I would love to show you, but today, unfortunately, is not the day. To do that, we've got some projects going on. We're gearing up for the end of the year show season, so I want to make sure we keep all that as a surprise.
Okay.
But we've got all of our CNC machines through this way, where we fit out our blocks, our cylinder hone, where we do all of our valve jobs. Anything manufacturing is in this shop here, and through this door. So we'll have, basically raw chunks of aluminum come in one side of the building, other side of the building it's coming out nice and clean CNC parts.
Yeah. Well, you can hear the buzzing of the machines and some banging, so definitely a lot going on back there. Yeah,
we're fortunate to be very busy. A lot of our machines, we can run overnight. Like some of the stuff, if you're machining a block, right, it takes well past 35, 40 hours to machine an engine block. So we do have some shifts and stuff like different shifts going on and that kind of deal, but man, these machines right now, they don't stop. We are very fortunate to be extremely busy.
Now, Barry, you mentioned a block of aluminum coming in and then it comes out, the finished product. What's that weight differential when it comes in as a solid chunk to, and I guess let's talk about blocks first.
Okay, so for an engine block, say it's going to come in probably 800 pounds, solid, chunk of aluminum.
Yeah.
By the time we get done with it and it's shipping out of the door, at that point you're putting sleeves in it. You're adding some weight, but it's going to be right around 110, 120 pounds.
Wow.
So you're losing almost 700 pounds in chips.
Yeah.
We have a 40-foot by 20-foot scrap metal bin in the back, and I've filled that up in 3 days before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is. Our guys that collect our scrap, they really like us a lot.
I bet.
They take us out to lunch. So it's we definitely make a lot of chips in this building, and it's part of it. But we enjoy it. And cylinder head, it's going to be not as much. You're going to have a lot of core material inside of a cylinder head, so you're not hogging out as much. But it's going to be, you're probably losing 30% there.
Yeah.
But it's the biggest one is always going to be the valve cover. I mean, you're taking a whole block and losing 98%. It's going down to probably, I think it's 7 pounds.
Yeah.
From a 40-pound block of aluminum.
Sure.
So
and that's something that's a little thinner and hollowed out. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Barry, before we move on, one last question, just to give folks a little perspective. How many square feet do you have back there in the CNC area?
This square footage, I believe, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever calculated it. Should be probably around 5,000, 6,000 square feet.
Okay. That's a good
It's actually,
space,
it's relatively compact, but we have a lot of stuff jammed in one spot.
Yeah.
But we do still have a little bit of room to grow.
Yeah. Well, a couple of those big machines take up space, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I want to add a couple more.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
We'll get there.
Very cool.
All right. On to the pretty stuff.
Cool.
EngineQuest, your home for new OE type replacement and performance engine parts and cores. For our full line of products, visit EngineQuest.com or call 1-800-426-8771. EngineQuest, the name you trust for engine parts, cores, and recycling.
All right, Barry, so explain where we're at here now in the building.
All right, so we're in the engineering brain cell nerd area. This is where all of our intelligent minds come up with all the great products.
The sharpest guys.
The sharpest tools in our box. They are great guys. This is where Daryl Makins, who is famously renowned as our general manager. This is where he works. Alfred, our head design engineer. This is where those guys sit. They measure everything using, we have a ferro arm, we have SolidWorks, 3D printer, we have some of that stuff at our disposal. So this is where they come up and create everything and do, some quality checks on production run parts.
Yeah.
And this is where those guys work. And then as we'll translate through the shop. This is coming into kind of our, if you want to call it a showroom, this is where we'll show customers engines.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This is also, where Jamie's office is.
Okay.
And our meeting room here. But
Yeah.
this is kind of, if we have a customer dropping by that's never seen one of our engines before or anything like that, we'll bring them in here and show basically what we do. But,
Awesome.
I'd say 80 to 90% of what we make is sitting right here. This is our traditional 4.9 Hemi platform. This is what your normal screw blower setup is going to be looking like, which is something you'll see in a PDRA or Outlaw Pro Mod, something like that.
Right.
And then of course our LS platform there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, completed and bolted together.
Yeah.
This is also what we use for our PRI displays and everything. But this is a good way for us to have some customers drop by and check out and ask any questions.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a nice display. It's impressive, especially when the engine's taller than you, right?
Yeah. yeah. It's pretty intimidating, really, for some people. And even we have some vendors and stuff that do tools and things like that. They always want to know what it looks like when it's done, right? So it's always a good experience to walk those guys in here and they just go, "That's an engine? Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely fun.
Absolutely.
And
nice space here.
Through this door, this is coming into our R&D facility side of the shop.
Yeah, and this is what's kind of brand new to you guys.
This is new, yes. Yeah, this is new. So this was pretty much just a warehouse space about a year ago. Jamie has really worked hard. All of our team has worked hard getting this to where it is. This was, like I said, no floors. It was
Yeah.
just concrete.
Yeah.
So this is something we're very proud of that we've done in the past year.
Yeah.
Looking at all of our different cells, you know, we have all of those were constructed as well with our own blocks and everything by hand. So
Yeah.
this has been a lot of work that
Yeah.
we're excited to show. We haven't really had many cameras in here at all. So
Yeah.
I think you may be the first real guys in here.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool shop. We can start going down the aisleway here, and I'll show you some of what we got going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
This bay is our dedicated flow bench room. We have, you know, basically we'll machine an idea, right? We'll do a single cylinder design, and we'll use that just to help instead of producing a whole head.
Yeah.
We'll do that, do some testing with it. That's kind of what Jamie's got going on there. We're working on some new port design.
Okay.
So we'll flow everything in here.
Yeah.
We have a lot of projects on the go at the moment.
Yeah.
The next bay is where we start getting into our engine building
Okay.
rooms. So this room is actually where we'll rough in engine builds. So this is getting short block together, grinding rings. And when I say short block together, test fitting everything, checking, you know, rod clearance at the bottom of the sleeve, that kind of stuff. Anything we need to grind or anything we do in here.
Okay.
It's hard to imagine this is a dirty room because it's about spotless, but it is.
Yeah. Looks pretty clean to me. Yeah.
Yep. So this is right now we're working on a 4.9 customer for 4.9 engine for one of our customers in Australia. It's getting ready to rock and roll out the door here in the next couple days.
Very good.
And then, so it'll basically, an engine will come out of that room and generally go into this room. Right now we've got a little bit of repair action going on. We have a customer that has an urgent repair that's working through the shop.
Okay.
But technically it'll come out of that room into this room for final assembly and wash up. And then we have this last room here is our dedicated cylinder head room.
Okay.
So this is where we'll check all of our springs, you know, pressures, any kind of CNC checks we need to do, make sure everything's good there.
Yeah.
This is where all of the cylinder head action goes down.
Very cool.
Yeah. And this is where we'll do some filming and stuff too. Some people will see it on our YouTube channel and stuff. We do a lot of video action in here.
Yeah. No, you guys do a nice job with that.
Yep.
This is great. This is some awesome space.
Yep. So then we'll walk our way.
Definitely not your typical engine shop.
Yeah, it's we're proud of it, and you know it's we thought, you know, with the level we're known for the engineering and the quality, right? So that's to me this is a good way to show that, right? That people can walk in and experience that in a tangible way, other than just the products. So,
Absolutely.
working down this way, we've got some display engines and stuff again. You know, this is an example of our 4.8 Roots engine here.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much put together, ready to go. This is what we'll have in tractor pull applications, those kind of guys. Very similar to really even what the Cellinis ran, broke a record last year with. I mean, this is an extremely well put together platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious, what are these guys on the side there?
So these are, we call those the bull horns.
Okay.
That's meant to, your burst panels are underneath here.
Okay.
So if you ever have an issue where you blow a burst panel out, this will help route the pressure out of the hood, so you don't end up cracking the hood of your Pro model.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
We'll work our way back this way. We have a 4.8 water engine here that's going together. We can those things are pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have some engines out there. One of the ones that's probably most known to the public, Dominator with Street Outlaws. This is like what he runs.
Okay.
So I mean, this is 4,000 horsepower that you can drive to the movies at night.
Right.
So I mean, it's
And you got the
pretty incredible.
H2Os right there.
Yep, H2O. That's it. So we can keep it cool.
Awesome.
Yep. We're getting that one together to slide out the door. And then what we have going on here, this is our latest business endeavor. So as of a few months ago, we are now the sole engine service provider for Audi North America on all GT3 and GT4 R8 engines. So
cool.
all the customers that are in North America that have a factory Audi built R8, there's certain service intervals that you have to do with those engines. There's certain requirements, everything like that. So that is now all coming through Noonan.
Okay.
So the customers actually ship the engine similar to like this one is over here.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So we'll get the engine out of the car and dropped over to us.
Yeah.
We'll dyno test it, see what the current health state is, and then we'll do whatever's required to it. If it needs a 10-kilometer, 20-kilometer service, we'll go through it and do all that stuff, and then we'll put it back on the dyno, validate it, send it back to the customer. So,
Lightning, do you know what's wrong with this one? Do you know what this one needs?
it says, need more power, baby.
Yeah, right.
No, it's
That's cool.
yeah. So it's something new for us. You know, with Jamie being from the V8 supercar world, he has a very big endurance background and road racing background.
Sure.
So it is kind of a bit of a coming back for him, you know, to get back into that space.
Yeah.
And we're extremely excited about it. You know, these customers are fantastic, just like everybody else in the racing world.
Yeah.
And it's something a little bit different for us to sink our teeth into. So
Yeah.
we're excited.
Barry, just talk real quick, you know, about the dyno cell itself. You guys got the Superflow set up here.
Yep, so this is a Superflow dyno. I'm not the best person to tell you all the whiz bangs about it, but the story of this dyno is pretty incredible. So this is actually a NASCAR engine or NASCAR Cup dyno that came from Mooresville, which you guys, where you just were.
Yeah.
This dyno went all the way to Australia, Jamie used it there, and now it's all the way back an hour down the street from where it started from.
Oh, wow.
So this this dyno has actually been around the world.
Wow.
But it's a bit of a pride and joy for us. So it's all separate lambdas. We can do actually, you know, individual cylinder testing there, and then it's obviously a water deal. We've got everything ran out through the back.
Yeah.
We did all the ducting work through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Daryl and the guys did a great job with that to where it's very efficient. Has all your normal humidity, air controls coming through the ceiling where you can control temperature, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's a pretty wicked piece.
Now, do you happen to know what it's rated in terms of horsepower? Because I mean, you guys make some really high horsepower engines.
Yeah, we haven't. This is all still relatively just getting set up.
Okay.
So we haven't put like a screw-blown Hemi on this yet.
Gotcha.
I don't think we'll be able to crest 3,000 horsepower on this dyno.
Yeah.
Which in reality, most of what we want to do is test the actual engine. So, I mean, as long as we can go to 2,000, we're pretty much good.
Yeah.
And customer will sit their fuel system and blower on it. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
But, we have another bay here beside us that'll teach us kind of what I think you're wanting to know.
Okay.
So coming out of the engine dyno, this is where our Spintron cell is currently. So all valve train development, everything like that will go down in here.
Yeah.
We've just now kind of getting this back up and running. Jamie's had this in the arsenal for a while, but as everybody knows, Spintron kind of went, they were sold. Some of the software and that kind of stuff is a little bit hard to get. So it's been a bit of a process getting it back running, but we're pretty much there now. We're doing some last, finalization and everything on making sure all of our sensors and everything are reading correctly.
Yeah.
But this is where all of our valve train testing and everything like that is going to go down.
Okay.
And then the next step back, but basically this will be our blower dyno room.
Okay.
So what we'd like to know is basically what's your blower doing, what's the valve train, and then how is the actual engine itself performing.
So it's literally just the blower setup mounted. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll basically use a small block Chevrolet to wind the blower up.
Yeah.
And then we use an electric motor to keep it going. So this will tell you, what kind of boost you're going to see, how efficient it is, that kind of stuff. It's a pretty wicked piece.
Yeah.
But this kind of keeps going on the back burner at the moment, but we're trying to get the dynos and the Spintron going first, and then come over to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the R&D center. So it's pretty much where we've got any kind of engine servicing, which really in reality, I mean, the past 3 or 4 years, we built some engines for customers and things like that. We didn't really do it as publicly as we do now. So, you know, we look at a lot of the customers we have in the No Prep King circuit or any of that kind of stuff. Right. We're building a fair amount of those engines, whereas before we would only do really 2 or 3 a year. So this shop is meant to basically wick everything up where we can service those customers and do more engine builds, because really we enjoy it and we like helping. So we kind of had to have the space to do it correctly. Now that we do, it stays packed. We've had just this week we had one engine come through, urgent repair. It came in really hurt. Left back out in 3 days. I've got that happening again over here. I mean, it's busy.
Well, we're kind of in the middle of summer and race season, so that stuff's going to happen, right?
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it.
Yeah, very good.
Part of it. Well, Greg, this is about all the coolest stuff I could show you. I hope it's been worth the trip.
Absolutely. This is what I wanted to see. No, I appreciate you walking us through and showing us all the different parts you guys make here in house. A couple of different engine platforms that you guys are working with, and certainly what all's going on here. This is really awesome. So Barry, I appreciate the time. Yeah. Appreciate the shop tour. Guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit about what Noonan's got going on here. This is really just state-of-the-art, cool, badass stuff. If you do have questions for Barry or for everyone here at Noonan Race Engineering, make sure you leave that stuff in the comments, and we'll pass that along to get answered. And make sure you're following these guys on social media. They post some stuff pretty regularly.
Yeah, we try to post about every day if possible.
It's always cool. So make sure you're following those guys across social media. Make sure you're following us across social media, Engine Builder Mag and EngineBuilderMag.com to check out more great engine content. Thanks for watching this shop tour, guys. We'll see you next time.